Here we are, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Space, the final frontier. I am Captain Frank Lee English, and these are the voyages of the starship HMSS Imperialize. Our mission? To explore strange new worlds, to seek out new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Rousing stuff, Captain English, sir.
You really think so? I was afraid it would sound a little bit cliched. The last thing I'd want would be for anyone listening to think that was going to be representative of the quality of all our dialogue throughout this entire voyage.
Perhaps it's best not to heighten expectations too early on, boyo.
Yes, Jones. A healthy dose of self-deprecation should neutralize the mildly xenophobic nature of the mission we've been tasked with by Her Majesty, Queen of Great Britain and of the Commonwealth Realms.
Yeah, so long as we can avoid resorting to trite nationalistic jokes, we should be fine.
Yes, I absolutely agree, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Well, I'm parched. Who's for tea? Jones, as your commanding officer, I'm ordering you to go make me a cup of tea. 2 sugars. And go easy on the milk. I'll need it for my Weetabix in the morning.
I don't think they provided us with milk, boyo. Just the powdered stuff.
Curse this lack of lactation! Very well. You stay here at the controls, Jones, while I navigate to the ship's kitchen facilities to acquire a refreshing beverage. The walk will give me the chance to familiarize myself with the intuitive navigation system.
Can you grab us a cup too?
I feel compelled to say an authoritative yet non-committal perhaps in this circumstance, Jones. It would be an appropriate reason to practice using the inventory system, yet I fear that such a magnanimous gesture may erode the command hierarchy aboard this vessel. I'll be on my way now, just as soon as I choose to exit this chair. I appear to have Best stow this for now. I appear to have I would do well to study these closely in case of an emergency, like we're stranded immobile in space. Now, to find the kitchen. If memory serves me correct, it's just down this corridor, beyond the 4th wall. The animators rather we leave it on. Less things to move. Now, let's see. Of course, it lacks the precision of a mouse and keyboard. It's Alan's mug, isn't it? It's for my Rosie Lee. Sorry, Cockney crockery. Surely you can't be serious. Mild green washing up liquid. Why? It's plenty to share. It's our autonomous beverage dispensing robot. It really takes the misery out of making tea. course, the downside of having a sentient being responsible for making the tea is that every so often it forgets how much milk to add.
Any danger of making that tea, boyo?
Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
How do you take your tea? Milk? Sugar? Lukewarm?
Just in a cup would be lovely, thanks.
Can I get you anything else from the kitchen? A biscuit, perhaps?
Oh, I'd love a biscuit. Bring us back a Jaffa cake.
Jaffa cakes aren't biscuits, they're cakes.
How can they be cakes? Look at all the size of them.
Weren't you taught that size isn't important?
It's never been an issue for me, boyo.
Me neither. So how's the family back in old Blighty? Been keeping up with the Joneses?
Mum and Dad are fine, and Harrod's getting ready to go to uni in Swansea.
Fantastic! What's she studying?
3D computer animation.
Oh! Well, that's a degree, I guess. Don't mind me. Awfully sorry for the delay.
Never mind, boyo. How did you manage to carry it in there without spilling any?
Well, I've just been very careful, ever since that whole Deepwater Horizon incident.
I don't really have anywhere to set this. You won't take over the controls from it until I finish. Wouldn't want to spill anything over these expensive electronics.
But of course! Why, if such a thing were to happen, we'd have a real puzzle on our hands.
Just go easy. Keep it steady.
Yes. Okay, right.
Flight safe mode disabled.
Didn't expect that.
Venting reserve oxygen supply. Opening rear cargo doors.
Careful, boyo.
Commencing
Keep it
cabin
steady.
depressurization.
No.
Life support systems offline.
So we shouldn't have done that. No. Right,
Easy, boyo.
Primary starboard fuel cell jettisoned.
Yes? No.
Daisy.
Give me your answer.
Holy cow! Ah! Look what you've done! I told you to keep it steady.
Good heavens! What a waste of perfectly good tea.
I think we should be more concerned about the irreparable damage done to the ship's steering system. Both problems, by the way, are your fault.
Look, obviously, the controls weren't calibrated to account for my superior strength. They were more sensitive than a pubescent poet. Regardless, we'll have plenty of time to argue about this now that we're stranded. Unless, of course, we can replace the controls with something else.
When you say we...
I mean the royal we. I'll sort this out. Don't move. I don't want you dribbling on anything else. Honestly, you're worse than the elderly. I would do well to study these closely in case of an emergency, like Why, the humble paperclip, a staple of any adventure gamer's inventory. Let's see if prodding this around fixes anything. Aha! 1.44 megabytes of virgin digital space. 3.5 inches. It's compact, but still large enough to grip. It's empty, lacking in substance. Very odd. It appears to be stuck. With great power comes great responsibility. Of course, it lacks the precision of a mouse and keyboard. I can't use these two together. It's for my... Gosh, how could I have thought that was a good idea? Mild green washing up liquid. It's a popular household brand of washing up liquid.
Have you found something to replace the controls you...
Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
Would you like me to go find you a towel to dry off?
No rush, boyo. I'm enjoying this warm, moist sensation. Reminds me of simpler times huddled in my mother's womb.
Gosh, I can hardly remember what I was doing 5 minutes ago, let alone during my embryonic youth.
Well, it was a lot longer ago for you, boyo.
Hey, I'm still down with the kids. Chillax Holmes. Me and my crew keeping it radical, man.
OMG, feel totes orky for you.
Surely it would take more than a splash of Earl Grey to halt this ship. The zenith of British aeronautical engineering.
You could always give the control column a quick alternating input along the x-axis, just to ascertain if it is indeed no longer functional.
You mean jiggle the joystick left and right?
Isn't that what I said?
Your sister's studying in Swansea. Been down recently?
Not to visit her. A few of us went camping around the Gower though. It's lovely the further out of the city you go.
Yes. The further the better. Don't mind me. Here, plug this in. See if it works.
No joy, boyo.
What? Is it supposed to be plug and play?
No, boyo. You'll have to install the drivers first.
Well, can't you just download them in here?
The Wi-Fi can't reach this part of the ship. Try getting online in one of the other rooms. See if you can download the drivers onto something and bring it here.
I suppose you'll just be sitting here in the meantime.
That's how the genre works, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it is broke, well, it's probably a tedious puzzle to fix it.
Now, to download this driver, I just need to connect to the internet first. Bingo! Found it! Fantastic. Now to quickly copy this driver. Whoa! Oh, sorry. Oh, gosh, is that the time? It'll be starting to get dark outside. Best check up on Allard and see if he's dried off. It's remarkable how much information can be stored on something so compact. It really takes the misery out of making tea. Animators rather we leave it on. Less things to move. It's Wales' own son, Sub-Lieutenant Jones.
What's going on? What are you playing at, boyo?
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. It felt like someone else was in control of my inhibitions.
Just give me the driver so we can GTFO.
GTFO?
Get things functioning and online. You need to swat up in your acronyms. FFS. For future scenarios.
Here, install this, and we should be underway again.
You could have used my USB pen, you know.
What? Is that another one of your acronyms I'm supposed to know?
What? Universal Serial Bus?
Ha! Serial bus. I know you're just making that one up.
Well, boyo, I've got some good news and some bad news. Which one do you want first?
I'll take the opportunity to indulge in a fleeting moment of comfort and reassurance prior to being crippled with anxiety and fear.
All right, boyo. Well, the good news is the drivers are installed. The bad news is that one of us is going to have to descend into the dark depths of the ship to perform the emergency systems reset procedure.
You mean turn everything off and on again?
Exactly, boyo.
Presumably I'll be the one doing the legwork, as usual.
Well, if you want, we could make it seem like you had a choice in the matter. Here, we'll flip for it. Heads or tails?
Tails never fails.
It's heads.
Blast! I can't help but feel that somehow that was always going to happen.
What fates impose that men must needs abide, it boots not to resist both wind and tide.
Gosh, the writing on this voyage just stepped up a level. That was borderline Shakespeare.
Aye, borderline.
Right, I'm off. do we have here? Ah! Good Lord. It might fit Allard's dainty hand. I've a bit more girth. I doubt combining these two will prove to be particularly... I haven't been up here long and already I think I've started to lose muscle density. On a more positive note, it would appear my bone density has remained unaffected. Triple action! Removes grease, fights odors, preserves one's dignity while attempting to squeeze through a narrow opening. The Holy Trinity. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself. Whilst that did smell like a spring breeze, it did chafe a turd. I think I'd better go carb-free when we go back to old Blighty. I'm sure this'll come in, wait for it, handy, eh? Not. We made that mistake once before. It's a precision-engineered German motorized screwdriver. Voila! That should significantly reduce the risk of death by electrocution. Oh, this should do the trick. No, that's, yes, right. Oops, I can be ever so clumsy. Ah well, no harm done. Let's check back with Allard and see if that's sorted everything. Down here is starting to give me the creeps. Sub-Lieutenant Jones!
Aye, boyo?
What is it you're tinkering with there, Jones? That isn't our reconnaissance rover you're disassembling, is it?
Well, but, funny story. While you were downstairs attending to that very complicated, laborious task, flicking that switch on and off, I've been running a variety of pre-mission calibration tests on the Beagle 2-2.
I presume that's why the floor's covered with bits of toy Hot Wheels track.
Firstly, the fact that this modular vehicular pathway simulation system happens to be mass-produced and branded as a children's toy is irrelevant. And secondly, yes.
That's all well and good, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. However, if I recall correctly, we were specifically advised that the Beagle 2-2 tended to function significantly better when its complicated array of electronics and mechanical components were positioned inside its aluminium housing.
Look, I just have to make a few minor repairs. During a centrifugal force resistance simulation, the rover proved exceedingly resistant.
So it flew off the loop bit.
That would be a valid interpretation of events, yes.
Sounds like I'm going to be required to go on some kind of scavenger hunt. What do you need?
To get the rover going again?
For the time being, that's all I feel I'm obligated to offer, yes.
I think the rigorous nature of the, test may have burned out the main motor.
I see. So, I'll have to find something to create some sort of electromagnet that'll revolve when a current is passed through it. I'll have to fashion a pulley system of sorts to drive power to the wheels. Something with a taut elastic band should do the trick, like an alluring undergarment. Now, if I was to remove the elastic...
Alternatively, Bert, you could just always grab me a spare. We've got a cupboard full of them.
Who's driving the boat?
Nobody. We're tied. I turned the autopilot on.
She was only installed a week ago and already her standards are slipping. I don't suppose you noticed anything out of the ordinary earlier when I was performing that emergency systems reset procedure. Specifically immediately once the power came back on.
No. Why, should I have?
Well, I don't know. Probably not. Forget I mentioned it. Be sure to put your toys away when you're done. I see. I'm sorry, I don't believe we've met.
Welcome.
Captain English.
How may I be of assistance?
So, how's everything going? Are we on track to be finished by tea?
ETA to waypoint, Tango Echo Alpha, calculating. Cannot define. Please refer to string length idiom for more details.
So, how long have you been an autopilot?
Calculating. Error. You do not have permission to access this data.
I don't suppose there's a Mr. Autopilot, perchance?
Compiler error. Incompatible types. Access denied.
I think I'll log off.
It is now safe to be removed.
I see the autopilot's working, unlike Sub-Lieutenant Jones. You have to admire the build quality. I don't suppose you'd have any use for this premium German motorized screwdriver?
Ah, cheers, Bert.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones! What are you doing?
Relax, Bert.
Relax! Do you have any idea how expensive parts and servicing are for that thing?
Look, I have an idea.
I'm sorry, I presumed that was the motor I could smell burning.
Look, We can replace the motor in the Beagle with the motor in this screwdriver. It's probably more reliable than our own spares anyway.
Great thinking, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Why? It's intuitive thinking like that that won us the war.
Of independence?
No, the other ones. By Jove, it works!
In 600,000 yards, your destination will be on the right. You've reached your destination.
Sub-Lieutenant Jones, we've arrived! The new world! Quickly, break open a container of property of ER2 flags and prepare a landing party!
As much as I'd love to jump onto the surface and soak up the radioactive atmosphere of this uncharted, most likely fatally hazardous planet, I think it may be an idea to send the Beagle 2-2 down first, just to get a feel for the place.
I considered your suggestion, Sub-Lieutenant Jones, and have made the executive decision to send the Beagle 2-2 down for a quick recce, prior to making our own triumphant descent. The extra time will allow us to properly consider which 19th century member of the aristocracy to name this place after.
Launching probe.
What the devil? Sub-Lieutenant Jones, quickly! We've been outmaneuvered! Someone's got here before us! We need to find out who that jolly well is and eject them from Her Majesty's new world post-haste. Set us down! Sub-Lieutenant Jones, where have we landed?
We've landed on an uncharted rock structure, somewhere outside the range of what was previously understood to be the limit of human interstellar travel.
I see. So, Sub-Lieutenant Jones, what exactly do we know about this place?
Well, it's an uncharted rock structure, somewhere outside the range of what was previously understood to be the limit of human interstellar travel.
I see. I don't suppose you could enlighten the audience with anything a little more specific?
Look, I'm called Aled Jones, probably the most generic, stereotypical Welsh name in existence. It's clear that whoever's writing this hasn't bothered doing a terrible amount of research. I wouldn't count on anything specific.
How will we go about finding the location of the Beagle 2-2? Presumably we have some kind of app for that.
I'm afraid not. We could download one. Only costs 69p.
69 pence? Not bad when it's free. Right, the plan is we head out, walk around aimlessly, look at a load of stuff eliciting a series of wry remarks, then start clicking everywhere until something happens.
I'll linger in the background and provide a series of hints if you feel things are a little too vexing.
Why break tradition, eh, Sub-Lieutenant Jones? Let's go! filled with epic loot, as they say on the YouTubes.
Ah, cheers, mate. Look, boyo, over there,
Where?
by that rock.
Would it trouble you immensely to use another point of reference, Sub-Lieutenant Jones?
Fine, boyo, by that gorilla.
Good grief! That's the second biggest monkey I've ever seen.
I think he's holding the Beagle 2-2.
Put that down, you damn dirty ape! Come on, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Let's get after him. No point leaving without a souvenir. What's the rush to leave? Now we're here, we might as well make a day of it.
Not so fast, you English mongrels. What do we have here, Pierre? Ah. Ouais, I see. Well, it would appear that you are too late, monsieur.
English. Captain Frank Lee English.
I'd just like to clarify that I'm not actually English. I'm Welsh.
Monsieur English and Monsieur Welsh. It would appear that you have been too late. Mon subordinate Pierre and moi have beaten you and your queen to this rich, fertile, nouveau world.
It's a bit rocky.
Little bit rocky, ouais, a petit landscaping required. But soon, the crown you are defecating with your presence will be the location of my vast winery, growing the sweetest French crepes the world has ever tasted. And everyone will eat crepes, wear berets, carry baguettes, ride bicyclettes, and all the other things we French like to do.
You're insane.
Am I? And how are you going to stop me?
I fear you underestimate the extent to which a conceited self-confidence, fueled by national historical achievements, can profit one in such circumstances.
Ha! We've been perfecting this same method for centuries. You'll have to do better than that.
We intend to ridicule you into submission, exhausting an extensive list of social stereotypes conceived through years of suspicion and ignorance.
Then what? Are you going to celebrate with a petit crumpet? Eh? Wash down with a cup of tea? Expose your crooked teeth while you laugh regaling this tale with your unsatisfied wives? Ha! Je can play that game, Monsieur English.
Honestly, I imagine this standoff will be resolved through the completion of some sort of moderately juvenile, yet entertaining puzzle.
How can you be so sure?
Well, it's got us this far. By the power of Grayskull, I have the power!
Oh, monsieur, I can't believe you actually said that.
Well, we could... Look! A three-headed monkey!
Where?
Quick, Sub-Lieutenant Jones, run!
Oh, merde! How did I fall for that? Wait, you're right. I have to trust him. Pardonnez-moi, I'm a sucker for the blue eyes.
What now, boyo?
Well, before we can legitimately lay claim to this new world, we need to remove their flag and hoist ours in its place.
Why?
Didn't they teach you history at school, Sub-Lieutenant Jones? That's just how these things work. Let's try and salvage something, like a spare wheel nut, or a fragment of dignity. Before its untimely passing, the Beagle 2-2 appears to have discovered a rock. Well, it's not quite Tutankhamun's tomb, but right now I'll take what I can get. Sub-Lieutenant Jones, amuse yourself until I get back.
I'll try and recollect the last couple of hours.
Ooh. Ay, Bandito. I make no bones about how grim that was. It specifically says no rustling. No flagship worth its salt would be without a draconian list of rules to adhere to. Oh, what have we here? Either the upholstery's been woven from tinsel, or we've hit the jackpot. It's an elegant lady's purse, filled with loose change. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself. If you could bottle it, you'd make a fortune.
It's part of the laboratory equipment the biologist we were supposed to have on board brought. I'm not sure what happened to him. No one's seen him for weeks. Not to worry. I'm sure he'll turn up. The box is sealed shut. Why, it would be impossible to determine the fate of any biological life form inside. While I'm here, I may as well give it a go. It has a warmth that you simply don't get with digital, especially if you burn the sleeve as well. Gotcha! I'm afraid I've nothing useful to hand.
Gotcha! You know the old saying? A frog in the hand is worth two in the biological science testing facility. If you want a job done around here, you've got to do it yourself.
Peace offering. A sample of delicious British dairy produce.
Do not insult my palate with your bland, insipid, rotten lactose. It pales in comparison to our superior, deliciously aged rotten lactose.
Oh, that's diplomacy off the dining table. How convenient. The cheese sticks to his moist green flesh, thus progressing this ethically questionable puzzle. You know the old saying? A frog in the hand is worth two in the biological science testing facility. If my moderately racist grandparents have taught me anything, it's that this should work.
What is this sorry excuse for that? Ooh, is that Swiss cheese? A slice of Emmental de Savoie with its attached right now. Et qui êtes-vous? Une petite entrée as well? Bien, les condiments, allez! Don't let him get away.
Huzzah!
I hope the little fella's alright.
I wouldn't worry. I'm sure they won't harm him. They're not complete savages, just French. Right, well that's the first thing that'll have to go. I say, that's quite the collection of wine. How's that? Don't be fooled by the rocks that I've got. I'm still Francis from, talking. Well, that ought to do the trick. Let's take the opportunity while this is offline to do a spot of rebranding outside. Victory is ours, Sub-Lieutenant Jones. Now I know how Nelson felt at Trafalgar. Prior to being shot, of course. Although I'm fairly certain I pulled something in my throwing arm earlier, so I can empathize. Quickly, Sub-Lieutenant Jones! We don't have long. Do you have a flag ready for hoisting?
Standard.
Yes. Is it ready to go?
Aye, boyo.
Right. Now make sure it's the right way round. Honestly, the number of people that make that mistake, it's just bad schooling if you ask me.
I think I hear someone coming. Will I hoist it now, boyo?
Steady, Jones. It isn't official unless we play the national anthem. Fortunately, I have it saved on this anodized aluminium portable music player. Okay, I got it. Now. Ha! This land is hereby property of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth.
C'est bien.
Well, pardon?
Oh, excusez-moi. Your queen is welcome to this Baron Infertile Rock, Monsieur English. Je suis désolé. We have discovered a land so abundant and fertile that even the grapes we harvest will be so ripe and succulent that even you British, in spite of your primitive, insipid palate, will acknowledge the superiority of our fine French wine. Au revoir, Monsieur English.
I think we'd better be heading on ourselves, boyo.
I concur, Sir Lieutenant Jones. It was delightful meeting you, chaps, eh? Arrivederci. Bourgogne Chardonnay, 2015. Good year.
Look, boyo, over there.
Why does it always rain in England?
Está